Hey, 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 boys and girls. Hello. Hi. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Hi. Hi, 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 hi. I'm back. I want to develop more of this game. It's not easy. It's not easy. You think it's easy, but it's not easy. It's not easy to keep it up all the time, you know? I could use my time for a million other things. And I decide to use it for this. You think it's easy, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not. But today, we have a picture of the day of someone in jail. This guy's in jail. He has some water though, so at least he can drink and maybe has some food as well. But he seems to be in jail. Definitely. There is a problem I need to solve. And the problem I need to solve is related to... yes, by the way, there is a new video on Patreon for Factions and Organizations, part 2. So, if you want to see it, it's on Patreon. I'm going through all the factions. If you don't want to see, don't worry. So we have something to solve, and it's something that I scratched the surface of this problem a few weeks ago, and then I decided to do something else. I started with the Dermorian village, and I worked on the Dermorian village and all of that. I will go back to the Dermorian village anyway. It's just that I try to rotate a bit, you know. I try to rotate topics for different reasons. One, because it's more fun for me and less tiring, but also because I think it's maybe more interesting for you. You know, instead of seeing 1 month of the Dermorian village, you see a bit of different pieces going on, and is helping me to differentiate. So today I want to work on let me just change the music. Today I want to work on factions again. So the big issue of our faction system at the moment is that it's not yet ready to be migrated into Unreal, and hopefully I'm going to fix it between today and tomorrow. So the point is that, as you know, we have quests, right? And quests very often are providing rewards, and some of these rewards can be items, can be experience, can be money and things. But one of the rewards is also faction points, meaning that you may complete a quest, for example, for the guards of the city, and the guards of the city may be happy about it, and may be happy that you helped the guards, and so they will be more inclined to give you more work or more jobs, or maybe they will be more open to speak with you, to trade with you, to sell you items, in general, to interact with you, right? So this is what we call faction points, and they can be derived from quests, or they can be derived from other sources, but primarily is quest. And this means that, you know, in our quest system, you have a number of quests that can be related to each other, and can be quest chains of different importance. And let's say that you start here and then you go in a certain direction, right? So you choose a certain path, and maybe, you know, This path is providing you, as I said, the guards plus 20 faction points, while maybe this one is providing you the guards minus 20 faction points, right? So you have some choices to make in the game related to what you do and how do you solve quests. Even the same quest can give, can have different outcomes and can provide a different different results. Hello, Constables. Hi, how are you? Hello, Dakota. Hi, hey, how are you? So the problem is that our old so in PS Legacy, the previous game, we had different factions, and also the factions were not very developed, right? So there were some basic concepts, like for example, craft. So all crafting was one faction. There were some concepts like the races, so that maybe if you collaborate more with the elves will be more likely to speak with you, but it was not really defined well. And so at the moment in the database, if you are a player, right, you have some faction points today, but the points that you have are most likely not correct compared to the new game that we are building. So compared to the new chain quest and compared to the new to the new factions that we introduced in Unreal, right? So there is a major problem. And I want to solve this problem, and I want to fix it, hopefully today, tomorrow. I mean, I don't know how much time it will take me. I don't think it will take me so much, but I think it will take me a bit. I don't know. I still have to analyze it. So the way to do it, the only way to do it is really to read the structure of quests that we have, read every single quest that we have in the game, check which factions points are given at a certain step, build, a table, a temporary table with that information, and that based on that compare it with the player completed quest, and based on the quest that they completed, assign the right faction points. Now this system is pretty good because if I manage to develop such a script, this could be reused in the future in case we decide to change faction points, right? And so that's the idea. Hello, Daco. What do you mean by very frustrating? I'm very sad about the war, and I'm very I don't know, I'm very into it. I mean, it's probably the first war that makes a difference in my thinking and in my life, right? So there are wars, there are smaller wars or bigger wars all over the world all the time, right? There have been wars in the past, and Syria, Afghanistan, a lot of problems in Africa, and skirmish, I don't know, in Ireland, but the extent of this war is really problematic. So I don't know if you are referring to that, or if you are referring to this thing that I'm explaining now. Okay, but anyway, keeping war aside for a second, because it's already occupying most of our thought, I guess, these days. So let's try to focus on plane shift a bit. So I need to solve this problem, right? I tried to solve it the other day with some store procedure, because I wanted to keep it all in in SQL. But I did some tests. I learned some of the ways, but I think it's too complex. It's too complex. It's not quick enough to do. It will take me too much time, and so I think I'm not gonna do it in SQL. I think we created a kind of a temp table for that, and yes, but this is not. I think this is not what I'm gonna do. So I think we can do it in PHP. Right, we can do it in PHP. Now the question is, let me just check one thing, because I always forget maybe to close stuff that should not be open. If there are any password of people or stuff like that. Let me close this, let me close this. Usually not, but it happened that sometimes I have like emails of people opened up, and I think we are good. I don't know. Anyway, the worst that may happen is that you see an email address of someone. So, but anyway, which I would like to avoid, obviously. So the point is that I need to understand. So we have one script, right, which is our update schema script, and this update schema script is basically doing all the work, but I think I would like to make an additional script, right, which is made in PHP, right? And I think I have PHP running at the moment. So if I do PHP -v, I mean, it's a bit of an old one, but I don't care. It's 2016 or whatever. So, but it's fine. So I have a PHP running. So the idea is to understand how to execute a script, right, from PHP that can run as if it was. So the first question I have is, if I have to run a PHP command line, do you think I need a do you think I need the web server app or not? I mean, is PHP anyway, in any case, requiring requiring the web server to run? So this is the first thing I want to understand. And probably the answer is no, but I just want to be sure. So I need to take, for example, if I go under plain shift www and then PHP info, right? PHP info is a very simple script which is made in PHP, which is just printing out, you know, all the PHP information, right? So my question is, if I do PHP and then I execute this guy, what happens? Okay, seems that we get the same information, but in a script. Okay. So this proves the fact that at the moment I don't have my Apache running, right? So we can definitely execute it as well. So let's start to do some tests. Okay, let's do some tests. So the first thing I will need a database connection, because I need to be able to connect to our. So the best way to do it, I think, if I take legacy, right, and I go under web console, for example, right, and under web console I'm checking the index file, right? And yes, we have, for example, this setup DB, because you know what we can do? This can be actually an extension of the actual web console, so that I could run it directly on the web console if I want, right? I think that could be a good idea. So what happens if I execute this? This would be interesting. What happens if I execute this, which is pretty much a full web page? I think he's expecting... I think he's expecting me to be in the right directory though. Well, you know, I think this part we don't really care. I think we can just make it. I think we can just build a new file that is doing that. Okay. So the question is, where do I want to store that thingy? I think I want to store it under PS Unreal scripts. That would be the best place, right? And so we will create a new file and we will call it faction script or calculate faction scores, something like that, .php, okay? Calculate faction score.php. So what we need to do, the first thing that we need to do, common function setup db. Common function setup db. So I think we can copy pretty much one-to-one, you know, what this thing is doing. I don't think I need to invent anything new. Hopefully I don't have to, right? Hopefully I don't have to invent anything new, really. I just have to copy paste a lot of the stuff that we already did. So the only point is that I need to be sure. I think that I can easily declare functions like that, and I think I can easily set up our directories this way. So we can set up a bunch of, you know, local variables, and then after we did that, we do nothing else than calling. I don't know if I have to copy SQL query, but probably yes, because we will need the SQL to be. But anyway, we will just do that. I don't even think I need it. Right, so this will set up our DB connection, hopefully, and then we can try to just execute a query, whatever. I think list quest is a good one because we actually need to work with the quest. Okay, so I mean, we will not need anything like access rules and other stuff. Are you trying for quest game? Yes, I'm trying to ensure that the quest that we had in the old game, and they were providing the right faction points, are providing the good faction points also in Unreal when we do the migration. And that's a necessary step. I mean, I cannot do without this, right? So okay, let me try to take this, right? which is a good example, and try to put it here. Right, try to put it here, and we need to have our SQL query function. I think I will copy it exactly as it is. I will copy exactly as it is, and I think this will be the two main functions we're gonna use, right? So, and this is actually going to call MySQL query. I don't know if this one I think should be a standard one, right? So I don't think is our function. Oh no, it is our function. Okay, it is our function because we use. Okay, fine. Okay, I can put it there. It's no problem. So in theory, this will we don't need this part. We are just listing quest by name. We are querying the thing, and then we are this we don't need, and then we are just storing stuff inside data, and then we are trying to parse the prerequisite lines, right? So this one also is not. This one is not needed at the moment. And I think would be nice enough to print out the the quest name. So basically this. I don't know. Okay, so let's see what happens if I execute this, right? Calculate faction scores. Let's see what happens. Calculate faction score. So at the moment we are on the scripts. Call to undefined function fetch SQL array. Well, this is because there is another function that we defined. Yeah, I don't know exactly why we did it this way, but I think we did it for future compatibility. You see that there is a fetch SQL array. So we centralized all these functions just to be sure that we are not. Actually, I think I need to copy all of this. That will probably be the best, and probably will be even better if I just put it in another file. But for now, we will leave it there. For now, I will leave it there. Okay. Undefined variable prerequisite. Undefined variable prerequisite. Yes, because we have. Yes, because I just cleared it up here. I understand. I think for now, let me just do a prerequisite of whatever parse because this is going into an array. Yeah? It is going into an array, but at the moment I just want to have, you know, a kind of a printout, so I don't really care. Can I do an array like this in? Can I do an array like this in PHP? I don't remember. No, it doesn't like me. Should do it like this. Probably not. How do you declare values in a PHP array, boys? PHP array. Don't remember. Ah, I have to do this. Ah, okay. But even if it's a number only, okay. Okay, so I need to do it a bit explicit. I hope there was a you know, but it seems there is not. So the minimum is this. So you still need to say array. Okay, fine. Fine. We can do that. It's not a problem. Okay, good. So we got, as a result, we got the list of all the existing quests, which is perfect. Is exactly what we needed. Okay, so this means that this script is able to connect to the database, setting up, you know, the proper password and everything. Is able to execute a query and is able to extract the values from the database. And okay, now the tricky part. Because up to here everything was easy, but we need a way to parse. You see this parse prerequisite script? We need a way to parse and validate. So I think that my only way will be well, not my only way, but the easiest way is probably to go because we have a script validator. Here it is, prospect quest validator. This is a function that is actually able to validate a quest, right? And is calling actually validate quest under quest. Okay, and this one is should skip line is so this one is actually should be doing the job of, yes, parse script. Now we don't need all the parsing, right? We don't need all the but we need a subset of this. We need a subset of this. So we need because there is a kind of a monster function, okay? But we don't need all of that. I think we need only to consider the different steps. So well, we may reuse some functions, okay? Trim script, different space subscript. Next line start with a space char appended to the previous line. There is a lot of logic here, so I think we will reuse exactly this function. We will reuse this function 100% because I think is what we need. And this one is also returning. Is actually cutting off the script. returning the line and returning the script. So I don't think we care too much about cutting the script, but definitely we need the next line to be correct. So I think this script is a good one. And this one we are gonna put it in our calculate function score as an additional function, right? So main is basically starting here, okay? Our main execution is here. Okay, so I think that the question is, do we care about the name of the quest? Do we care about the name of the quest? No, we don't care. So actually the only thing that we need and we care is the quest ID, because it's the quest ID that is the one that is set in the character quest, right? This one, quest ID. So it is the only thing that we care. And quest ID is inside quest scripts, right? So we will have to extract from quest script, yes. And we need to extract the quest ID and the script. I don't think we need anything else. So the only problem will be, but I will think about it later. So now out of this, I don't think we care. I don't think we really care about the script ID. I think the only thing that we care is the quest ID. So we can extract, you know, we can extract quest ID, which is the one that we want, and we can extract the script, right, which is this one, and everything else at the moment we don't really care, right? And we can say something like parsing quest ID, and then we can put this quest ID, and then we can say /r/n, right? And in theory this will yeah, my bad. I didn't substitute it. Okay. So there are some quests with quest ID -1. That's interesting. We have some script with quest ID -1. Why? Maybe it's null. No, I don't understand. It should be impossible. Actually, these are the knowledge, the knowledge areas. Okay. No, all of this will not be used. So I think we can exclude all the -1. So we can say where quest ID, where quest quest ID is greater than 0. Okay, if it's not greater than 0, we don't really care about it. Okay, so we have all our quests. Now if we want, we can also have a count or something just to know how many we parsed. That's kind of the easiest part of the problem. So we can count plus plus and then say, you know, we parsed X amount of total quests analyzed, and we can say count, right? Fine. So we have 459 valid quests. I think I will do it also for the ones that are disabled, because even if they are disabled, because we have a flag that is saying if the quest is disabled or not, but I think I will do it also for the ones that are disabled. I think it's fine. Okay. Now we need a function, right, which is similar to parse, similar to the one that we have seen before, right, which is basically the parse script, and the parse script should give us back that's a good question. What it should give us back? It should give us back the quest ID. The quest ID already reworked as a sub-step, and the faction that is actually assigning, right? Yes, exactly. In which format? I think it can be an array. And it can be quest ID fact pointing to maybe a small structure, which will be a faction ID and the point, or it can also be the full string. At the moment, I don't really care. For now, let's say that it's just an array with a quest ID. Okay, I think that's good. So what I need to do, I need to create a function similar to this, right? Now, it will not be identical, obviously, but it will be similar to this function. And inside this function, definitely we will get the quest ID and the script. And I think nothing else. And this function will do this while get next line, which we know that it was working, so it should be working properly here as well, right? And then inside this get next line, we have to be smart in copying the right pieces, because basically we can the only thing that we want to check is a new line. I mean, is a new step. Is a new step block. And the new step block is coming here. New step. It's coming here and it's called new step. So now I think we should assume that the quest is actually correct, right? I cannot. Yeah. I think we assume that the quest is correct. So all these checks I will basically skip. We don't really care. Now, if this happens, okay, let me try to understand what I'm doing if I do this, right? Because here I will get the ... but I will also get the no repeat, right? Because there are actually two different syntax in our quest system to actually... okay, so that's fine. And then what I'm doing, if it's greater than 3, I think we can completely ignore this part, because this is just checking that the actual step yeah, exactly. The only thing we need to do step plus plus. We need to do step plus plus, and so we know that we are in a new block. Step is starting from 1, eh? Okay, that is what I wanted to know. So step is actually starting from 1, and line is obviously starting as empty, and script is coming from there. And then okay, so basically with this I will know what is the step inside. Okay, and we are going to cut off. Now I want to print out if I find if I find yeah, because this is always assuming that we have it I think we just need this, right? I think we just need this, because this is basically searching but I think it should be one or the other, right? One or the other. I don't think it's yeah, I think it should be one or the other. Should be one or the other. So Parse Script. Well, so what are we searching for? We are searching for a run script, right? We are searching for a run script. So we are searching where script is like run script. I think it's called this way. Yes, run script. And then not only run script, but we need, there is a specific one, which is give quest factions. Exactly. So if our line is starting with this, if our line is starting with, containing this line, right? If it's containing this line, it means that we need to store this information, and we will have to parse this thing, right? So I think what we can do, we can search the opening and the closing, right? We can search the opening and the closing. So we will do, because anyway there is no other no other way, you know. So we will search we will search inside line the opening, and if this is different than false, right, which I guess is zero or -1. I don't know if it's 0 or -1, but anyway, to me it's the same. So if it's different than false, then it means that we have right, we have an actual value to associate. Like here, for example, there is artist association. So what we are searching a string, right? So search a string like this, right? So we are searching a string that is like this, like run script, you know. And here you have the faction, and here you have actually the value associated to the faction, right? So if this position is false, we will get the same for the end position, right? So we will get the end position, and which will be whatever, this, and then we will just cut off between one and the other, right? Obviously end position must be true. If this is not true, we have a problem. I think if this is not true, we should print out an error, because yeah, I mean, if this is not true, it means that the script is malformed. In theory, should never happen, because all our scripts are properly checked. But we can say something like error script malformed, and we can say we can put maybe the ID of the script, but in theory should never happen. In theory should never happen. And the same, you know, if that is not false. I mean, if we don't find the end position, you know, there is another problem. So this also should never happen. This also should never ever happen. But you know, maybe. Okay, so here we are in the right case, right? And what do we need to do? We just need to substring, right? We need to cut off the piece. So we will say, I think we can cut off between the comma. Yes, I think we can search the comma. So there will be comma pause. There will be a comma in between. There can only be a comma in between, yes. And right, and this comma pause will be, so we will do faction name equal to substring of our line, right? Starting from the start pause, and going up to I don't remember if substring is taking the wait string offset length, string offset, no, I don't need length, I need I don't need the length, I need the... Okay, I can do one minus the other. If you want the length, it's okay. It's okay. I can do one minus the other, so I can do, to find the length, I can find my comma pause and minus my star pause, right? Actually will be +2 because there will be 2 empty characters, I guess. So this will be the faction name, and then this will be the faction score, which is very similar, but it's going from... Remember, we are parsing something like this, okay? This is what we are parsing. The start pause will be the comma pause in this case, and we will go until end pause. We will go until end pause minus comma pause. I don't know if I have to... wait. And yes, end pause minus comma pause. I don't know if I have to do the +2 or not. In this case, probably not. Okay. So if this happens, which is good, let's try to echo the result and see what we get, okay? So found faction script. Let me say script, and then we put quest ID, found faction script, and then we put found faction. Now let's do this, faction, and we put faction name. Okay, faction name with score, and we put faction score. Okay, and then we do /r/n just to go. Okay, let's see what it's doing. In theory we should see. Maybe it will not be the right value, but wait, I didn't call this function. I didn't call this function, boys. So we should call Parse Script, and Parse Script will give quest ID. We'll take quest ID and script. Hello, Morango. Hi. Call to undefined function is space. Where do we have this is space? Is space. For sure we have it somewhere. Is inside get next line. Okay, so we are missing an additional function. I'm not going to think too much. I'm just gonna copy, you know. I'm just gonna copy that thingy. I don't think I care about I don't think I care about adding one more function in this file. Okay, as you can see, this thing is kind of working already, because it's returning script 1461, found faction fighter guild with score 2, found faction Cabal of Whisper with score 2. Now, it's not perfect, right? And the reason it's not perfect is that probably we're not cutting in the right way, but let me see. So the faction name is not considering these two pieces. So start pause, yeah, this one should be definitely start pause +2, so we are excluding this. and then it should go until the comma pause without the +2. Yeah, I put the +2 in the wrong place. Okay, let me try again. Okay, that is a bit better. Actually, we can exclude the comma itself. So I think this will be -1. And then we have a problem though, that this is in quotes. So wait, star pause +2. Faction name, star pause +2. Yes, this is correct. But why this -1 is not enough? That's strange though. This -1. Okay, I can try -2, but I was expecting -1 to be correct. Okay, it's -2. I don't know why. Okay, and definitely we need to do comma pause +1, and we will get a number. Okay, so we have our name and our number. And position minus comma pause -1. Okay, now you see that it's pretty much clean. There may be spaces, so the point is that I think we will have to trim any possible spaces just to avoid. I think we can trim this, and also we want to trim this for sure. Oops. We want to trim this so that they are more clean, right? And now we have only the problem of the quotes, but the problem of the quote, you know, I don't really care. We can compare it with quotes later on, so it's not an issue. I think we can also leave in the quote. So basically what we know here, we know that we are in a specific step. By the way, I didn't print the step. Okay, now we need to understand how the step is working, because there is a formula, right? There is a formula that I always forget, but there is a formula that is adding, I think, 10,000 to the quest step ID. And I'm trying to find it out. I think it should be 10,000. Come on. If I see it, come on, it's 10,000 for sure. Get quest ID, get ID. Let me see. Get ID, return ID. There is a place where we define. I think it's in the loading. Quest get ID. Maybe it's not 10,000, but I think it was 10,000. I can try 1,000 in this document, but I don't think it's one. I think we are adding 10,000 on top. PS Quest. Where is that? Because there is a kind of a formula doing this thing. Maybe it's inside Cache Manager then. Cache Manager. Cache Manager. Ah, there it is. Here it is. Okay, so that's the ID. For the sub steps, right? For the sub steps. So now the question is, do we need to know? I don't know. So whenever we are changing the step, we should assign a new ID, a new sub-step ID or something like that. We have a quest ID and we have a sub-step ID. And if a character completes the quest, if a character completes a quest, you see that we say completed quest ID 11, right? That is the completion of the full quest. But if we see a number like 10,000, like this one, for example, right? Like this one means that this person completed the sub-step of that quest, right? And so basically this number is telling us that is the I should remove 10,000. Then I multiply my parent quest by 100 and I add the step on top of it, right? So if I remove 10,000, I am at 1,106, right? 1,106. So if my quest is, so if I divide it by 100 and I remove, so probably is the step number 6. You know, this is the 6th step of the quest, and so this is the quest 11, right? This is the quest 11. Quest 11, step 6. So which is this one. Quest 11, step 6. Now the only problem I have is that I don't know if I am assigning. Do I need to care only about the sub steps, or do I also need to care about the main quest? So that's the question. Let me see this quest 11, for example, right? This quest 11. The first step is 1, so this is step 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, and 7. So the question is why? Okay, let me check on that table. So if I say, this is the player ID. Okay, this player ID probably completed. So if I do player ID, this guy, and but I cannot do it because well, I can order by quest ID maybe. No, because the question is, how is it possible they didn't finish step 5, right? Seems to be very strange, huh? Yeah, in the database there is no record that he actually completed step 5, unless this quest maybe as a branch. Maybe as a branch. Maybe as a branch. Maybe as a branch. Require step 2, step 3, time of the day. Ah, yes, because it's based on the time of the day. Ah, okay, perfect. So in reality, yes, these steps have not been completed. So we jumped directly to step 6 and step 7. Oh, okay, good. Makes sense. All of this makes sense. So let me just turn on the light because he went dark. And also give me a second, I'm going to the bathroom. But I think we are close. We are close to get at least a piece of what we need, which is nice. Okay, give me a second, guys. Okay, I'm back. So, so the point is, that now we get, so yeah, we need to do this calculation. Okay, so we need to do the sub-step calculation. And I think that, yes, we only care about the sub-steps. I don't think we care about the quest, because if you completed the quest, the game is also recording the completion of the sub-step. As you can see in this example, right? We have 11 completed, but we also have 107 completed, right? 11,107. So this means that the game is recording also the completion of the sub-step, which is great because it allows us to do basically a query only for the numbers that are above 10,000, right? And yes, and that is great. So let's call it sub-step ID. So sub-step ID will be 10,000 plus the quest ID multiplied by 100 plus the current step. Okay. Exactly. So here we can say quest, let's say quest ID in substep substep ID. Okay, found action blah 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 with score blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, so like this, I think is a bit cleaner. So 1478. So we know that there is a substep 15784, this thing, that is giving order of the kin edge points, right? So to prove that that's true, let me try to search for quest ID equal to this. Yes, as you can see, I have a number of players that actually completed this quest, and the number of players that still have it active, right? So what we will need that to be completed. When we will do the comparison with the player data, we will have to have it completed. Okay. Okay, this is very, very good. This is very, very good. This is very, very good. So, so I think one thing that we need to have our, but we need to pass it by reference, because we will need to have an array which is keeping track of all the quest ID and the faction points, right? And what I need an array of a structure though. So this will be something like quest faction points, right? And this quest faction point will be defined, will be initialized here at the beginning, you know, as an empty array. How do I do in PHP an array of a structure? Because I need an array of, I need a bit more than just an array. I need an array isn't there an explanation? No. Okay, thank you. I need an array of a structure, because this one is not enough for me, and this one also is not enough for me. But I think it may work if I just wait. Can I just create an empty array like that, or is it complaining? No, it's not complaining. Okay, nice. Well, it's complaining because now I don't have the thingy. But if I, okay, so if I pass this guy by reference, I don't remember if I have to. No, I don't think so. Wait. No. Okay, it's fine. So you just need to declare the reference in the signature of the method that you are calling. Okay, fine. So if I do this, right? If I do this, and then in my script, I'm doing something like quest faction points. Quest faction points. Quest function points. I need a I need a kind of a multi. Well, I need yeah, array. I think it would be like this. Yes, I think it would be like this. Okay. Yes. Fine. Okay. So if I say faction points of quest ID, no, of substep ID, because we always need to go by substep ID, right? If I do quest faction point of substep ID equals to let's start with just faction name for a second, okay? But I think I will need array of, you know, yeah, exactly, faction name and faction score. So this is what I need. I need to put inside that array this. All right, I need to put into that this, and then when assuming that it is unique, but this should be unique. This should be unique. This should be unique. Well, yeah, I think it would. Yeah, we'll always be reset here anyway, so. I mean, if we are really scared of that not being initialized, we can set it as -1 at the beginning, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine, and I think I would like to improve my Ukrainian flag so that he has no background color. Do I have GIMP open? I don't? Okay, strange. Let me just check one. Let me properties. Okay. So it's under CPS stamp. CPS stamp. Yeah, I just want to remove the background. Ah. Nice. Very nice. Should we? Yeah, it's a bit. It's not the best, but. It's not the best picture, but it's okay. Okay. Now I like it more. So it doesn't have okay. Okay, so the point is that I want to, yes, I want to put into this array the faction name and the faction score. Yes. Yes. And I want the faction name and the faction score. And I want to put it by substep ID. Yes, so in the main function, then we are getting this as a result. This one is passed by reference, so we will get it populated for all the items. And so I can try to print here. Let me see how many value total. Total faction script found, and we can say this. How do we get the length of an array? Len? I think it's len, huh? I think it's len, sides off, count. Count or sides off? Count. Count maybe fine. Okay, so if we launch it now, so we found 499 faction scripts. Holy moly. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's a lot. I mean, it's a lot because those will have to be changed somehow by someone in the future. But for now, it's okay. 499. Okay. So yeah, this proves the fact that we are properly loading the quest and the faction scripts and everything. So I think it's working fine. Now, I don't know if I want to print out this monster, but probably not. Do I want to print it out? Well, okay, the faction name, I think we can, after the trim, we can just substring into... We can just chop the left and the right. I think that would be the easiest. Is there a chop? There's no chop, huh? There is no chop, there is no... Come on, string functions. You can do it. Oh my god. I don't know why I cannot find this from this, but I can find this from Google. You know, if I search string functions here, I'm not finding it. While if I go with Google, I found it. I find it. But anyway, I think that the because I just want to remove one character to the left and one character to the right. So if there is a simpler way than substring by length, I would prefer. But if there is not, Substring. I think it's just substring. Strip? No, strip. No, I think it's only substring. Okay. Yeah, it's only substring. So you need to... Yeah, so we need to 0 minus 1, and then we need to 1. Okay, we need to 0 minus 1. So substring faction name 0 minus 1. This will remove the last character. And then substring 1, and for the full length I think it will return, right? So now we should have, and in theory if we could trim everything again, we are sure that there are no empty spaces. I think we will trim it another time. Okay, so now it's fine. Now it's clean without any additional quotes or anything else. And so we are in the best position. We are in the best position. So okay, so we get our value. So basically now we know which quest sub-step is associated to wait, I need some water. I have a lot of needs today. I have a lot of needs. I also... Wait, I also need to do this. Meow. I also need to do this. Unless we have... Yeah, we have that, but I think we will go with this. Whack. Okay. Fine. So what do we need to do next? Next, we need to get... So what I did up to now, also for me to think about it a second. What I did up to now, I parsed all the quests that we have in the game and extracted all these values, right? All these values, and I put them into an array, which is having basically 3 columns. So the quest ID, the substep ID, the faction name, and the faction score, right? So this is what we have now in this table. Now I need to take this guy and compare it, right, with my player score, my player quest, right? So the question is, do we do it by player or do we do it by what? I think we need to do it by player. I don't think I have another chance, right? So I have to do it by player. So I need to extract. I need a query on character quest, which is this one. And this one is going to check if the player has completed status on quest ID. Can I group by player to do one query only? No, probably not. Because, well, I can order by player. It will be pretty much the same, though. I need to go line by line. I'm thinking to what is the smartest way to, or the simplest way to parse this by player ID, because we will have to sum up, you know. Some of them will be or I That's not very easy, eh? It is not very easy. I need to go by... I can go by player. But I will do a million query though, because we have 300,000 players, so... Okay, I think I know what I will do. What I will do... Yeah, we will do a bit of a million query, but I think the minimum number of query is... So, this one is basically... for each quest, analyze the script and extract the faction points given by subquest ID. Right, so this is what we are doing here. I don't understand why sometimes. Okay, I don't know. He's doing a bit of what he wants, huh? In terms of indentation. Now here we say extract all players with completed sub-steps, right? Completed quest sub-steps. So on this one I will have to do a query which will be something like select player ID, quest ID, and status. Everything else we don't care. Player ID, quest ID, and status from player quests, because that is the table, right? No, character quest. Okay. Well, cannot be character, meaning that NPC are not completing quest, but it's fine. Character quest, where I would say quest ID is greater than 10,000, because anyway we want to keep, only want to get the sub steps, and status equal to completed, right? And we can order by player ID, that's not a problem. Now I think it's a bit useless though the way I do it here, because how are we gonna parse these lines? Do we do it player by player? Because I have to do line by line. And basically find in my other array, in this one, right, the quest ID, the substep ID. And when I find the substep ID, I'm going to add it to another array, which is the end result, right? So I will do so what? What the fuck? How do I have to click on it? Or I have to... Oh, I have to tab. Okay. I have to tab. Wow, I have a lot of needs today. I have a lot of needs. The other need is that I'm feeling a bit cold, so I'm getting an extra sweater. Okay, this should be better. This should be better. Guys, you are very silent. You are very silent. You should say something. Okay, so we extract all the players we completed. Yes, and now we do substep ID equal to line. Well, line doesn't really make sense, but okay, let's use line. It's the same. Quest ID, yes, exactly. So this will be the substep ID. And and the player ID and the status. But the status we don't really need because we use it only. Yeah, the status we can also avoid extracting it. We just need the substep ID and we need the player ID. Now that we have this, we can check if the if our array, this one, contains our substep ID, right? So this one will return a value. This one will return a value if it exists, right? Which is the faction standing, let's call it. Okay. No, which is not the faction standing, which is the faction score I need to associate, right? Which is the faction score I need to associate. This will hopefully be only one line. Yeah, I really hope that we don't have a quest that is assigning two faction score of different faction in the same step, because that would be annoying. I mean, that would not be managed by the current code I have. It will not. It will not be managed by the code that I have here. So Let me just see if I can save that. No. Okay, I just wanted to save this because there is a piece of the stuff that we did yesterday in tabletop cyberpunk, and yeah, just wanted to save it. I want to lose it. Okay, so we have our faction score, right? Extracted for that particular player. Now, extracted for that sub-step. Now, yes, by sub-step. So if this is valid, how do I know if this is valid or not? I check if this variable is not if it is an array. Do I have something that is like is array or something? Yes, we have it. Is array. Okay. Okay, that's good. So we can say if that is an array, then it means that we found our value, right? It means we found our value. If we found our value, what can we do? We need to add this score to the player. So I think we can create, yeah, the problem is that we go by player. That's the issue. I mean, I'm ordering by player, so in theory we know that we have finished one player, you know, with one run. So if I want, I can actually detect. Yes, that's probably the easiest. So I can keep an array with all my values. So if I do player standing, okay, if I do something like player standing, which is initially an empty array, and then I check if I'm switching wait, and then I check if I'm switching player, right? So I do current player equal to player ID. No. Right. So I say check if we are switching to a new player. Okay. So if player ID is different than line player ID, right, it means that we are switching to a new player ID. So in that case we clear up the array, right? We clear up the array, we clear up the standing, which is good. Otherwise we just assign player ID to player ID, and well, this can be done anyway. This is no harm, let's say, right? And then what? And then we have our player standing. So here we will need to do something like player standing off. And then I don't know if I want to put it by faction score or what, but yeah, I think I have to, right? I have to get the current faction score and add it to the and add it to the previous one. So I will have to say, do we go by faction name? Yeah, I think we go by faction name. I think we go by faction name. So how do I get the key? How do I get the key of my array? Array keys. In this case, will only be one. But anyway. So I'm getting, so to get the function name, right, I need to get array key of function score, and I will get the first element. This is always true, because anyway, if we said it is an array, it should be populated. And this will be our function name, and then we will use this function name to get my function score, right? So this will be my current score, and then we are going to just add inside player function name, we are just gonna say current score plus current score plus faction score. No. Wait. Fuck. Function score of function name. Right? Okay, so what we are expecting out of this is summing up values. So if I have two quests that are giving values in the same faction, I will get the number summed up. Okay, so that's what we want to have. Okay, so okay, I think we can echo this thing and see what happens, because I'm not sure it's correct. So let's say assigning no, let's say new, so no, let's say player ID, this guy, new faction score, and then we will have the faction name and equal to this, right? I don't know. Let's try and see where we are, because at the moment it's not very easy to understand. Undefined offset. GG. Is a million lines. Is millions of lines. What is saying? Undefined offset 118402 in. What do you mean undefined offset? Ah, because he's taking it not as a key, but oh my god, no, no, no. Wait, no. Yeah, he's taking this as he's taking this as an ID, an array index. Obviously, it is not what I want. Obviously, this is not what I want. I want to extract the array ID. I want to extract the array value, right? I mean the array value associated to a key. What? How are those array? I think they are called like named array. Do we have value as well? How do I get an array value by key? I just need to say value or something. Do I just need to say value something? Don't understand what I'm... Is my question a stupid question? But maybe. Because, okay, I understand this. My problem is that this is a variable. If I pass it in as a variable, it thinks is the ID, is the index. I mean, in the same way there is key, right? I was expecting that there is value, but there is not. What is the opposite of key? Super confused. Do I need to loop it? I think I need to loop it somehow. I need to loop it. Boys, anyone with PHP knowledge? No, because he's complaining. He's complaining in this line for sure. Yeah, 255. He's complaining on this line because he's thinking that my substep ID is actually an index of the array, while in my case it's not. In my case is a key of a named array. So I would like this guy to extract the value. I don't understand how to ask this question, but get array value from key. So what is the it's not working there. Or I loaded it wrong, or because this guy is saying that this code is fine, but it's not because it's getting the fourth element instead of getting. Maybe he's getting it. It's just not. Wait. Maybe it's correct. It's just that it's not existing. Ah, yes. It's not existing in this array because that step is not. Ah, okay. Okay. So if okay. So if value is not present, we just skip. So if this key doesn't exist, right? If it doesn't exist, then we can just skip it. Exactly. Check if key exists. Okay, array key exists. Oh, very nice. Array key exists. Key array. Okay, this is what I needed. Perfect. So I think we will array key exists. So we will check if in this array we have substep ID as valid or not, right? So if it is not valid, we just continue, right? So we completely ignore it. If it exists, then we do our thingy. Okay, so I think that now, so yeah, so the syntax was okay. So now we should not give anymore the error at least. Expects parameter 2 to be an array because it's the opposite. Is key first and array next. Okay, nice. Nice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We finished We finished the PHP memory. I don't understand exactly what happened, but it seems that player ID, new faction score. Player ID, new faction score 0. No, but in this way. Wait a second. So here we are sure that the value is present, right? Because we did a check if the key exists, right? So we are sure that this value is actually existing. So if this value exists, this will always be valid, right? This will always be valid. And so we are extracting our faction score. Now from the faction score, we are going to get the first key, which is the faction name. The problem is that this seems to be empty, actually. This seems to be empty. Strange. This seems to be empty. This seems to be empty. There is something. I think this one is fucked up. This parenthesis 0 is probably fucked up. Does it start from 1? I don't remember. Maybe it starts from 1. No, I think it starts from 0. I think it starts from 0. Undefined offset 1. Hey, bro, undefined offset 1. I don't know. I mean, okay. I think this one is printing the array. So we see what it contains, because I'm confused now. New player ID. New faction score. Illegal offset type 268. Zero one. What the fuck is this? No, we have a problem because wait, we have a problem then in the other function, because it seems that we are not storing anything or something. This array faction name faction score doesn't seem to do what we want to do. Strange, but possible. Faction name with score 1, right? So here we are creating an array with a specific substep ID. So for example, this, and we are putting an array into it, right? Then we are extracting. No, it seems to be okay. I don't understand. It seems to be okay. Then here we extract. How can it be 0, 1? And define value. Yeah, right. How can it be 0, 1? Don't get it. 0, 1. 0, 1. What is this 0, 1? No, I don't understand. Do I have to do it this way? Probably, huh? Ah, okay. Now it makes sense. Okay, good. Yeah, you have to declare it this way. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. My bad. So now in theory, faction name. So if I do 0 now, that will be okay. Okay. We are getting a lot of errors though. Undefined index 265. 265. Player ID, new faction score, undefined index, meet association in 265. Player standing. Yeah, because it doesn't exist yet. Yes, because it doesn't exist yet. So if it doesn't exist, the current score will be 0. So we can check if we already have a value for this faction. So we can do the same as this. You know, we can do a check if actually our array is including anything. What the hell? If our array is including... so we need to check if player standing is including faction name. If it is not, then current score will be equal to 0. Else, current score will be equal to this. Okay, so now it probably will not give us anymore that error because we are checking explicitly if that key exists or not. And then we are assigning a new... Yeah, and then we are assigning a new faction score. Now, let me see. Okay, so then we will switch at a certain point. We will switch player ID, and we will reset this player standing. Okay, and at that point, I think we will have to do the insert into the database for the new faction for this player. Yes. I mean, this procedure will take a lot to run. I'm pretty sure that it will take quite a bit of time. Okay, you see, so... Yeah. I think it's working because you see that here we have, for this player, we have this number going up. Actually not. I mean, it goes up at the beginning, then it goes down again. In theory, it should never go down because we do plus. How is it possible it goes down? Ah, it goes down because maybe it's a negative faction. Yeah. Yes, maybe it may be negative. It may be negative. There is probably a quest which is giving a negative value. It's giving a -5. It's very possible. Yes, you see, -4. Yeah, there are, for sure, there are negative values. Yes, I think so. There are negative values. Okay, so that's good. So there is analyzing the player quest. For example, this guy did some quest for the guards, positive ones, and then he did one that actually was detrimental quite a bit, -5, and then he went up again. And then he went up again to 23. I'm just surprised that there is a guard quest that is providing 7 points. 7 points in guards. Seems to be a lot. Seven points in guards, huh? Yes, there are. Even 8. Even 8 points. Wow. Brown Order with score 0. This is pretty bad though. How can it be 0? Quest 1425. Quest 1425. Strange. Quest 1425 is giving a 0 brown. I don't believe it. I think probably we have an error in the parsing or an error. Merchant Syndicate -4, guards -4. Merchant Syndicate -4, guards -4. Yeah, so it's coming up next. Brown Order 0. I mean, what does it mean? I don't understand why we have this 0. I'm asking internally to see if someone knows it, but it's kind of strange that we get a 0 value. But I mean, to me it's fine. Oh fuck! This one is commented out. Cannot believe. No. Okay, well, if the line is commented out, then we need to skip it, huh? If the line is commented out, we need to skip it. It's good that I found it. I think we can use then. I think we can use the string case compare, string no case compare instead of string pause, and we will search 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 29. It's 29. So I will do this. I will check if he starts with. If he starts with that. And so in theory now we should not get any more Merchant Syndicate 4, because this Merchant Syndicate has actually been commented out, right? 1425. $14.25. Yes, perfect. We don't get the Merchant Syndicate anymore. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay, good. So we removed also the cases in which is commented out. So I think this part is working okay. Now the problem is that the next step is to so now we know which player got which score, right? Now the point is that when I'm switching to the new player, so which is here, before clearing out the array, you know, I insert the faction scores for this player into the database. So I think we need to do the thing. We need to do the insert somehow. Right? I have to do it here. I have to do it here. So I will have to be sure that I have my player ID, and yes I do. And I have to be sure that I go into character character factions. And I think I should delete any previous value. Even if I think the delete can be part of a... Yeah, I think we can just truncate the table and GG. I think we can just truncate the table and GG. How do we do it in a way that I'm not destroying the database now? Because if I do it now, this database will get very wrong. I mean, we'll get the wrong values. But I can do it on the dummy database. But or I can. We also need the faction ID. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. So we need the faction ID and not the faction name. So where do we do it? We do it when we load the data, or we do it when we write the data. Because here I have the faction name, but well, in theory, if I have a global thingy that is keeping my... Yeah, so I need to read it before. I need to read faction ID, and yeah. I need to basically read from the database. So read all faction names with IDs, right? So we need to do that. We need to create an array that is made of that, so that then we can use the association. So it would be select I don't know, ID and name from factions. Yes. Select ID and name. Select ID and name from factions without any where clause, and we're just going to, so we create a thing here, an array. So we do faction names of so we do ID, I think faction ID is equal to whatever line of ID, and faction name is equal to line name, and faction names of faction name, no, a faction ID. Well, I will search it by name actually. Right, because I will search it by name later on because we have it in the script. So I'm just going to create this array, and then I think we can pass this array through or make it global. Can we make it global? I think we can make it global, right? PHP global variable. I mean, is seen by a sub function or not? I think the sub function will not see it. Uh-oh, my internet died. GG. No. PHP website died. Holy fuck. PHP website went down. I also got global say, yeah. I think global say can be fine. I think global say can be fine. I mean, may not be the greatest. It may not be the greatest and more elegant way, but I mean, the other way is to pass it to the function. That's also another way. Maybe I can just pass it to the function. Fuck it. It's better than having this global thing. I would just pass it on. So... What? Bro. You joking? So... Yeah, we just pass it. We would just pass it like this, and then okay. So here we want to put the ID instead, right? We want to put the ID So we will get our faction ID, and our faction ID will be faction names of our faction name, right? And this will be our faction ID. So now we have the faction ID in the array, and the rest of the code will work exactly identical. So I think will be no problem. We will just see a number instead of a name, which may be a bit confusing, but 231. It may just be a bit confusing, but hello, Sublate. Failed with error and no column name in field list. Holy moly! And because it's called faction name. The dollar is a way to declare a variable in PHP. So if you say, so you cannot say, if you say like my variable, you know, equal to 5, it will not work. You need to say dollar my variable equal to 5. This is just how PHP is declaring variables. So you always need to have the dollar in front. Select from factions, yes. Come on. Okay, doesn't want to do it. Why doesn't find from factions is here? Okay. Okay. We got a lot of errors, boys. Or not. I don't know. I've seen undefined index crafting association in 193. 19. Yeah, because now we put in faction ID. No, wait. Because there is a faction that doesn't exist. Yes. Yeah, that is very good though. That is very good. Because this will tell us all the quests that at the moment have it will tell us all the quests that at the moment have factions which do not exist in the new database. So this is perfect. This is perfect. So I need to say we need to use the array exist, right? Like we use down here. We need to do if array exist. And if it doesn't, then we definitely need to give an error. Because this is a real case, it's happening now. So we say if faction name, right? If faction name does not exist in this array, right? Then we have a big problem. And the big problem is we can say error faction blah blah blah, right? Which is this faction name. No, this faction name. Faction name does not exist in the factions table. Exactly. So in this case is a problem though, because we can just, yeah, we would just skip it. I think we would just skip it. We are not even gonna try to parse it. Yes. So I think here we will just do a continue. because anyway it's useless. We will never be able to associate it to the proper one. That is for queries. No, it's for everything. Any variable of any kind, even if you are doing it with queries or with other things, is just a global way. It's just a standard way of PHP to associate it. Okay, so now we will get a lot of errors, but I think it's okay because all these errors we actually need to fix, because it means that yes. Okay. So why PHP? Because I think it's very handy in this case. This is basically this is a script that I need to run when we are migrating our data from the old game to the new game, right? So we have a game that is this one that you can download right now if you want, which is our old game. And this old game has a database, right, that is keeping track of all the player skills and factions and a lot of stuff, right? And so what I'm doing is a script that is able to convert the old database into the new database, right? And one piece of that is the reassignment of all the faction scores. In all the faction scores, yes, in the quest, right? So we will have to convert the old to the new. And in theory I wanted to do it only in SQL, because all my script is this script, is doing a million things to update the old database to the new database, and it's all in SQL. But in this case, for factions, we need something that is more complex, and so I decided to do it I tried to do it with triggers, with the store procedures, scripts in MySQL, but it was too hard, and with PHP is so much easier. So basically, what I'm gonna do on the migration is that when we reach the right point, I will just launch, this command, php calculate faction score, and this will do what we need to do, right? Which I think is good. Now the only problem I have is that why is giving this memory error? Allowed memory size of blah 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 exhausted. Why is complaining that it cannot stay in 134 megabyte of memory? Now I understand what I'm doing here, but what I'm doing is just a loop on, it's just a loop on all the players, and I'm actually reusing this array. So this array should, in theory, always be deleted. Well, it's time to put all the stuff in save games in U4. Oh my god, no. I mean, depends what is your data model, but if your data model is complex, I mean, consider our data model is like this, we have dozens of tables, right? Dozens of tables. So yeah, it's not possible to put in a save game. Which crab monster? Who is the crab? One of the small guys running around is a crab. I don't know. You can change yours if you want. On the website, is a clacker, yes. Is a clacker. Is one of our monsters. Is also in the new game. There are 3 versions of it. Of different strength and... okay, so let me print out not only the faction name, but also the faction. So not only the faction ID, but let me print also the faction faction ID. So this one actually becomes officially becomes faction ID because we changed it. Right. But we also would like to print out the faction name. So to print out the faction name, we can do factions of faction ID. Right. This one, faction names of faction ID dot, I don't know, can we open a parenthesis and close the parenthesis, something like that, so we see. Now I don't understand why this is generating a memory error. I mean, the problem is that we have like 200,000 players or something, so this loop is executing 200,000 times, but why the memory is not getting freed? So can you free memory in PHP? I don't think so. I think that it's doing it for you, right? I don't think that you can unset or var equal to null. Because I think the garbage collector is coming too late. I think I will just have to increase memory, that's it. No, but basically we need to wait a garbage collector. So I think it's invalidating the memory, is setting it to a new array here, and is setting it to a new array, and 130 megabyte whatever are not enough. I think I can increase my PHP memory somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. In my PHP init, first I need to understand which one is it, because I think I have a number of PHP installed. I can give him 1 gigabyte or whatever, 2 gigabyte. How do we know that? The easiest way is to print out the PHP info and understand where is our PHP located. That is probably the easiest way. So if I go no. Come on, PHP info. I've seen it. PHP info. Okay. So if I do, wait, if I do PHP of this, He should tell me where is the ini file, right? Of this PHP. Wow. It's printing a lot of stuff. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Let's redirect it to php info.txt and then we will search it, because otherwise boys, it's impossible. PHP ini loading configuration file from, okay, so now we know where is it. Is in F blah blah blah. And now we need to understand how to increase the memory, because this is not working. So what? Wait. PHP memory. It seems to be set to 130. Ah, yes, memory limit 100. Okay, can we add a 0 here? And give him 1 gigabyte and see what happens. Undefined offset 8 in, wait a second, I think I fucked up something. Undefined index undefined index, say line 293, faction ID. Ah, because it's by name and not by ID. So I think I need to do something like key. No, key. No, wait. Oh my god. Okay. I will create another one. Which is probably the easiest and the fastest way. Otherwise I will have to do a reverse lookup or something, and zero interest in doing that. Zero interest. Okay, so now you should not give this error anymore, I hope. Okay, nice. Okay, completed. So it did it for all the players. Now, do we really need to do it for all the players? Well, we are doing it for all the players that actually completed at least one quest. We did it for all the players that completed at least one quest in the previous game. How many are they? Let me see. What are we counting here? We are counting total quest analyzed. Yeah, I would like to count how many players. So if I do here count plus, and then at the end I say total players updated, total players updated. Well, updated is not really true, because total players analyzed, because yeah, we may have a player that has finished a specific step, but that step is not giving any faction values. Okay, so it seems to be a very low number though. 17,000 only? Hmm. 17,000 players seems to be a very low number. 17,000 players. Ah, no, because because now we are skipping. Because now we are skipping the factions that we don't have in our new set. Yes, exactly. So if I remove this check, no, we are analyzing it. No, we are analyzing it. So it's really 17,000 players. So we only have 17,000 players that completed sub-steps. Completed sub-steps. Yes. Only 17,000 players. Okay. I mean, fine. Out of how many? $17,000 players. Out of well, I don't know if this is really true, because out of 204,000, proportion seems to be a bit weird. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but the proportion is a bit weird. So we have 200,000 players in the database, right? 200,000. And of those 200,000, my query is saying that so maybe there are a number that never completed a quest. They never completed a quest. Maybe they started a quest, but never completed it properly. Let me do a select count from character from plane shift prod 2 character quest where no, I cannot do it this way. Well, I can do it if I change this line 1 second. If I change this line and I say where if I just do this, right? If I just do this, this will give me all the players that have a quest at least started. But they never finished it, okay? 23,000. 23,000. So basically 1 player out of 10 managed to do a quest. Well, managed to start the quest. It's very strange though. I don't know if I'm looking at the right number actually. But yes, I think I am. So I think there are a lot of dummy characters. A lot of dummy characters in the database. I don't remember if this is already the database that I cleaned or not. Because I did a cleaning of all the old unused characters some time ago, but okay, anyway, I think we should assume that this is correct. I'm trying to understand if I'm missing something or not, but trying to understand if this is correct. I need to check my dinner. Give me 1 second, I'm checking my dinner, okay? Checking dinner. 2 minutes. I think we'll be quick. I just need to see. Something. 1 second. No, it's not really. It's not really thaw yet. I cannot cook it yet. I need to thaw it a bit more. I need to thaw it a bit more. Okay, so the point is that, okay, I think we arrived to a good point though, because if this is working and if the number of people that we see here is correct, this means that we can actually do the job, right? We can actually do the job. So let me see what are the missing ones, because we have a problem with... Okay, let me restore the previous query. I think this query is actually correct. And so we have 17,000 players who actually completed quests in the game. I was expecting a bit more out of 200,000, but let me check if this is the database with the cleanup or without the cleanup. I posted a news somewhere somehow. Yeah. Under announcement, huh? So let me take one. Let me take one of the. Let me take one of the name, like Arirerer. Is it still in the database or not? Characters. No, it's already removed. So this is the list without. Okay, so this is already the cleaned up list. Wow. Okay, people were really failing at doing quest or starting quest, I guess. Okay, fine. Okay, where is that? So we have 17,000. We have 17,399 players that completed quests. They completed quests. Now, how many of those are actually getting faction points, though? Because, yeah, that's not very clear, huh? Because in theory, I could go through this and get no result. I think I need another variable, which is found, and we will say found only if we get into this. And then we will have another variable. So this count will be count total players. This count will be count total players, and we will have another one which will be count players, affected players. And affected players will be So only if, then affected player plus plus, right? Only if found. If found is true, we will. I think PHP doesn't like the no parentheses, huh? So I'm gonna put it. So if found, kind of. So here we can say total players affected. And so this will be total players, and this will be total players affected. Okay, let me see what is the difference now. Huh? Wow. Only 3,734 out of the 17,000. But consider this because many of our factions are not properly set. Yes, many don't have exactly. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can clean up. What is it? Clear. So, okay, let me launch it again. And then, can I extract? Let me see. Select all. Can I filter only the lines that are matching a specific pattern? So basically I need to match only the lines that are that have error in it. How do I get all the lines that have a specific? How can I filter? There should be a notepad ++ filter lines. Filter lines containing match the mark the line. What? Line filter. I have a I did this already. I remember I did this already. Line filter. I have a, I don't know. I have a line filter 2. There is also line filter 3. Holy shit. There is a line filter 2 and a line filter 3. I have no idea which one is the best. But I will need keep lines with selection. Okay. Does not exist in the faction table. That is the one that I needed to keep. Yes. Keep lines with selection. Beautiful. Great. That is very, very good. No, wait. He did a mess. He actually did a mess. He mixed the two lines. What? Wait a second. Every line should be like this. There should be no line with... There should be no line with... I don't understand this line. Does not exist in the faction table. Faction and Kirukai does not exist in the faction table. And then there is a quest thingy. Ah, that is my bad. It's in the original file like that. Wait a second, I think I did, what? Where is my file? Okay, see. Does not exist. Does not exist in the faction table. Error, faction blah 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 does not exist in the faction table. Quest ID. Yeah, because there are two parts of this thing. One is when I... No. My printout is fucked up. My printout is fucked up. I need to print at least faction blah blah blah. There's not in the faction table. While parsing quest. And then I can say quest ID. And then I can say substep, because I also have the substep. Substep. And I can say step, right? Okay. And then I can say /r/n, which anyway we need, right? So this way will be cleaner, I think. I think this way the result will be cleaner. Wait, I need to... So now I put it into my 6. And now I use the, yeah, it does not exist in the faction table. And now I use that line filter plugin, which is incredible, by the way. Thank you a lot for that, whoever did it. Very, very useful. Okay, and here we have the substep and okay. Okay. Now for Thieves organization, if we don't want to change them all, maybe I can do, no, we need to change them all. There's no way. We need to change them all. So this one will go to a paste bin or somewhere. What was the new Neko bin or something? Neko bin? No, what was the... what was the name of the paste text? I don't remember. I didn't put a... Just paste it. No, we go paste bin. Okay, we go paste bin, I guess. Wow, paste bin is a Ukrainian flag. We want peace, stop Russia. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's very nice of them. Yeah. I will give this this text to Aeon Wind. So I'm typing in internal channel. This is the list of the factions which are not matching anymore and need to be changed to reflect the new factions. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and I don't know if he needs help because this is kind of a big work, no? It's 300 lines. I mean, it's 369 lines. I think some can really be ignored, like all the ones about Nolthrir, because we had a few that were related to. Strange though, Conclave of the Glyphs doesn't exist. Why? Conclave of the Glyphs. Maybe because we called it Conclave of Glyphs. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. Yeah, we called it Conclave of Glyphs. That needs to be changed. I mean, we can do a replace if we want, but how many we have with conclave of glyphs? How many we have conclave of glyphs? Wow, this plugin for line filter is insane. Well, it's not too many, but anyways, 17 places. Yeah. Okay. Nice. But basically this work is finished. I mean, this part is finished. I'm pretty happy about the script. I just need to be sure that I'm saving the script in our subversion, but it's good, huh? It's good. It's doing what we want. It's doing what we want. I think the only thing that we are not doing yet is... Ah, no, it's not finished. No. It's not finished. It's absolutely not finished. Added faction, calculate faction script. Added PHP, calculate faction script to be used during migration. Okay. No, we are missing two things actually. We are missing the creation in the database. We are missing the saving in the database, and we are also missing the multiplication, because this number is actually multiplied by a value, and I don't know exactly what is the multiplication doing. So let me see. Give. So this should be inside math scripts, I guess. This should be inside math script, right? So if I do her name, no? No? Is inside progression scripts? Okay. Okay. Yes. So what this thing is doing is taking the first parameter, amount, faction amount, 5 multiplied by parameter 1. Yeah, so if it's 0, it goes to 0, eh? Sorry, I don't understand this thing. He's saying if the target faction plus amount is less than 200, then you assign it. Okay, easy. If it's not less than 200, meaning that we go above, then what do? We do 200 minus... What? We do 200 minus the target faction. What? So let's say that I have 200 and... Let's say that this plus the amount is equal to 210 or something. So here I'm doing 200 minus 210. So I will set the value as 10. I mean, this makes no sense, but anyway. It will never happen actually, because you never go above, we never go above 200. So it will never happen, but yeah, so if we assign 0 in the script, this will be 5 multiplied by 0, so it will be 0. Will be absolutely 0. But anyways, is 5 multiplied by. So what we need to change our script is that we need to multiply. So we need to get our so when we are here and we say, instead of doing only current score plus, right, faction ID, so we will take this, we will create a new variable, we will call it new score, or score to add, let's say value to add, okay. And this will be this multiplied by 5. And this value to add, we are gonna add it down here. So now you will see that the values will be higher, right? Unless it's giving an error because the value is a string, but yeah, so now we have, you know, values like 275, 240, 205, 300, wow, 300. So we're gonna cap everything to 200, huh? Because what did we say that the factions, wait a second. What did we say? Factions. What did we say? We said that we have maximum 8 and maximum 200 faction points. Okay. So the max. So I need to cap it to 200. Huh? Do we want to cap it or not? Because if you are doing more quests for a faction, then it will be harder for you to go down later on if you do something against them. If you do something against them. But when you are at the maximum, you are at the maximum, I guess. So the question is, should I cap the total to 200? I see people in the data with the script, with the migration script. I can see the values people will have, and there are many above 200. Above 200, like I see some 240, 275, even 300. 204, 275, 350, 350, 300. So there are a lot of values. So okay. So I think we're going to multiply, and I assume that I need to cap. So let me say this: if value to add, if value to add is greater than 200, we're gonna cap it. Okay. 5 points per faction level in the script, and then we say cap to 200 points max. I don't know if I need to cap down, but I think the negative, are there some negative? There is a minus 10. There is a minus 10. There is a minus 35. Minus 35, I think, is the minimum that I see. Okay. So if value to add is greater than 200, no, sorry. Not if the value to add is greater than 200. If the result is greater than 200. So if, yeah, I think we can set it here, and then we can cap it just after, okay? So we can say if player standing faction ID, if player standing faction ID is greater than 200, then then player faction ID equal to 200. Okay, so we cap it. I think you cannot see what I'm writing because it's my face on top, right? Well, kind of a bit. I have to stay like this. Okay, so here we are capping to 200 max. Yeah, so now the maximum is actually 200. There's a bit of a problem though. There is a bit of a problem. That is annoying. You know what is the problem? Is that I may go up. So one quest may put me above 200. Then the next quest is putting me below. So the question is, do we want to cap at every setting, or do we want to cap only at the end? No, I think we want to cap at every setting. So the same as it would have been in game. Yes, exactly. Yeah, even if the sequence may not be the same. Oh my god, the sequence, boys. The sequence of quest may not be the same that they executed in game. So with a cap at 200, we may do damages. Fuck, there is a problem, huh? There is a problem. So what I mean is that, let's assume that you got, 180 points, let's say total, right? Total. And then you got a plus 40. And then you got a minus 20 or whatever, right? So I mean a minus 40. So if I consider it in the right sequence that they executed it, and I have my cap at 200, in this case, this thing will become 180, 200, 160, right? If for any reason this was executed in a different way, right, was executed in this sequence, 180 minus 40 plus 40, Then my calculation becomes 180, 140, 180. So you see that in this case I have 160 as a result, and in this case I have 180 as a result. Fuck. So this means that this means that I have to order by date to know the way they executed the quest. I don't think I have that. No, I don't think we have it. We don't know the date. Completion order. This field stored the ordering in which the quest was completed from 0 to n. Everything is 23. I don't think we are using this. Or maybe we are. Let me go by player ID 1 second. One. What do you mean one? 1, 2. 1, 2. I don't understand this. What does this mean? $34, $33. I mean, I can order by this thing, but I have no idea what is this number representing, really. But it seems to be set. Completion order. Quest assigned. If this is a sub-step, assign the completion order by checking all the entry for the highest number. I mean, there is some reasoning on this, actually. So it seems to be doing something. Okay, I mean, we can order by completion order. We can order by player and by completion order ascending. And this will already be better, I guess. Because it seems that this is actually managed. Incredible, but it seems that this is actually managed. So we will do order by player ID and then completion order ascending, right? So let me just see the result of this. Yeah, I cannot see the completion order though, but quest ID. Okay, it seems it's doing that. So within the same player. Now this is another player. Yes, exactly. So it's doing 1, 2, 2. Yeah. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. So we are preserving the order. So in the scenario that I was showing you here, we have more chances to get the right number. right? Which I think is good. Okay. Okay, let me check my dinner 1 second. Okay. We can cook it. We can cook it. Okay, we can cook it. It's actually ready to be cooked. So in about 15 minutes or so, we will have it done. Okay, so we did that piece. That piece is the completion order ascending, which I think is nice, and it's doing it within a certain player, so I think is great. I mean, it's very important is keeping the player ID right, because if the player ID is not ordered, we will have a big issue, okay? Because we are actually considering that we are switching player at the end, right? So, okay, so the piece that is missing, that is probably the last piece. And hello, Funner. I'm cooking some skewers. You know skewers? Skewers. With mixed meat. These things. Actually, I'm eating only one, that is, but it's big enough. So I'm eating one, and then I have some French fries, but they are kind of weird French fries. Let me see if I find. I don't know if I can find the right one. I found it. These ones. Wait. It's not very visible. It's not very visible. Yeah, this one, which is all. I don't know. I don't know how they do them this way, but yeah, they are like, I don't know. It looks like a stair or something. It looks like a stair. They're like this. They are kind of fun. They are kind of fun to eat. They have like a good shape. Okay, so Check if you are switching to new player. So here we need, so when we do that, we then need to insert all the new values into our database, right? So we will have to basically set, now I don't know if I want to do it on this production database, but we probably can do it. So the point will be that inside, we will need to do an insert, right, in character factions. We will have to do an insert on this table. Ah, by the way, this table has been deleted already. Okay, so easy. Right. I will have to insert here the new value. So I will need a query for insert. Let me see if we can just copy paste from somewhere, which is simpler, but I think it's the same. We just call query. I don't think it's very different. Yeah, you just call insert into and you just call the query. So it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. So we just need to, yeah. Okay. So the point here is that we need to loop through all the possible values of our player, right? So we will need a for each or something, right? For each right? A for each whatever as for each what is our array? Player standing. For each player standing as, and this will be our faction score. Even if I call it faction score, I think we can fuck up things. Huh? Yes, I think I will not call it this way. I will call it save or score to save. Yeah, we call it score to save. Right. So for each one, we are gonna do query number 2, insert into character factions. So character factions, and we will have to insert character ID, faction ID, and value. Right, and the values will be score to save off, score to save off no, we need to get all the key, because we don't know the keys up front, right? We don't know the keys up front, so score to save. What? I think I need to do key. I think I need to do key of score to save. Right? And I think this will return my key. But I'm not completely sure. Let me try to print it out 1 second. Because I need a faction ID, right? I need a faction ID. Save faction ID. And then I need the... And then I need the value. I think I can do 0, but I don't know if I can do 0. Because there is again an array that is right. Let me try to echo this one and see what happens, because I'm a bit confused at the moment. And we will not execute it for now, okay? So we want to have player ID. So we want to have my player ID. I want to have my save faction ID. And I want to have my save faction score. Right? So this will be the query. Okay. Let's see what happens. If it blows up, probably will blow up. Probably it will blow up. Key expect parameter 1 to be an array. Integer given. No. I don't think so. It's not an integer. Ah, wait, now I remember. Now I remember, boys. Now I remember. You have to do it this way. You have to do it this way. I think that is the syntax. Let me try. You want to come over for dinner? Why not? Why not? Yeah, you're a bit far away. Okay, now we have our query. The problem will be, is it correct or not? That's the problem. Yeah, testing that is correct is very hard. Because, yeah, it's very hard. Cable of Whisper 770. Okay, I can check it from here though, but yes, you see that if this is correct, this is setting a 70, a value of 70 at 7 is setting a value of 0. Yeah, but the value of 0, I think we should avoid it. I mean, if it's 0, I think you should not add it at all. There is no meaning in a 0 value. So I think that if it's 0, we can skip it. In theory, it should never happen, but it seems that it is happening. So we will say if the faction score is 0, right? We will just continue. And we will not save it. We will not save it. What the fuck? It's doing it anyway. I was thinking to something and I typed something different. Eugene! Okay, give me a 0 value. Okay, here for example we have a 0 value. There is a character with a lot of stuff. So he has player ID. He has Iron Hand, which arrives up to 75. Yes, he's a follower of Lanx. And then we have a 14, which goes up to 15. Yes. Then we have an 8, which is going to 15, and that's it. And the 2-0 are ignored. Okay, I think it's good now. I think it's good. So I think we can execute this. I think we can execute this thing. If we execute it, this table will get populated like crazy. Like crazy, I tell you. So, okay, let me try to do it. What is the second one? Log, okay. I think we can run it and see what happens. Okay, let's do a full execution. So I will let it go, right? And in theory, we should get into that table a bunch of stuff for all the 200,000 players. No, for all the 17,000 players. Okay. Well, actually, for all the 3,734 players at the moment, because the other factions are actually missing. So I'm expecting to get about, I don't know, like 20,000 lines in this. What is my character name? Let me find. Do you have a character that I can check? Do you have a character that you use to do quest and that I can check the result? For example, for my main character, Talad, this result is empty. But I think probably because I never completed quests really the proper way. I mean, I just did them for testing purpose. So I don't think I have any faction points or anything. Let me search someone that does a lot of quests. Let me try Gonger, for example. Okay. So you see that Gonger will have all these values set. But I think it will be... I mean, this is a partial list, because at the moment the names are wrong, right? So... that's probably the case. I think my dinner is ready, boys. I'm thinking if I should come back or not. It's 9:30. I will probably play 1 or 2 games after that. I think we basically reached our goals. So we completed this part. So we managed to complete the script. And the script seems to be actually working, which is great. How much time it took me? 3 hours 57. Not bad. I think it's okay. I mean, so we created this thing, we tested it, and it seems to be functional. Yeah, so I think I will stop the stream here, boys, so I eat with a bit more relax and not to come back quickly. And I will see you tomorrow in the afternoon, around 4:30 my time. So Central European time, okay? If you want to click on follow on Twitch, will be nice. If you also want to click on subscribe on YouTube. I don't remember how many YouTube we have. We have 919 at the moment. We want to reach 1,000, so we still need a few more. And yes, also if you want to do a bit more for us, you want to support the game and sponsor the game, there is patreon.com/planeshift, where you can join and get some videos and stuff. Also, I remind you, I don't know if all of you know, but I remind you that we are now a recognized charitable organization under the education piece, and means that you can deduct from your taxes the donations that you do, I mean, it's not always true, but depends a bit on your situation and where you are and in which states you are. But you can check with your taxpayer, and you can deduct from your taxes the donations that you do to us, you know, which is great because you pay less taxes and we get the money. Yay! Okay, see you boys next time tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. I think we did a good job today. We finished that script, it was a tough one, so I'm happy. I'm happy about that. Let's go, boys. We will finish this game one day. Bye.